And we're going to mute everybody as well.
Thank you, Karen.
Well, good morning and welcome to Rotary Essentials Public Image Edition.
Amy got muted too. we can't mute Amy.
I have my voice back. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, is sharing your voice and your club's voice today. I am Amy Vandermark. I am your public image chair or co-chair for District 5300. I have some very talented individuals who are joining us on the call. A couple are not here. So I'm going to introduce myself, and I would ask anybody on the call to introduce themselves, and then I'll introduce those who are not with us at the moment. Amy Vandermark. I am from Boulder City, Nevada, with the Rotary Club of Boulder City. I joined Rotary in 2021 when we were gearing up for our Best Damn Barbecue fundraiser, and I just fell in love with everything Rotary and the messaging. I own Amy Vander Marketing, which is a marketing and project management company, and I would like Zeb to introduce himself if he is on the call. Has Zeb come through? Miss Karen, why don't you take it away?
Okay, I'm Karen Lujan. I'm with the Monrovia Rotary Club, and I've been in Rotary since 2008, and I'm an engineer for Siemens Corporation.
Thank you, Karen. Gino, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Gino Reyes. Some of you know me, most of you should know me. I am your Inclusive Leadership Chair, and I am also the district kind of utility guy. So I am playing here in public image and helping take it to the next level. It is my firm belief that public image, inclusive leadership, mental health, and membership all work together. So you will see me in this wheel of all four of these working together.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gino. And has Roy joined us this morning? All right. Zeb and Roy are members of the Public Image co-chair. Zeb joins us from Rancho del Chino. He also works very closely with the Chamber of Commerce. Roy Berry is a lawyer from the Upland Rotary Club. When they joined, I don't have those exact figures, but they have been in the Rotary family for a long time. Now we're going to kick it over to our mental health speakers. You are going to get to hear some great input from them. Rudy, take it away.
Oh, the pressure is on. Hi, Rudy Hayek. Professionally, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm in private practice in Glendora. I am the immediate past president of the Glendora Rotary Club. I also was president of the Sierra Madre Club back in 0304. Hi, Marilyn. I am the co-chair of the Mental Health and Wellness Committee along with Sheila Gutierrez. I don't know if she's on the call today, but that's it for now.
Fantastic. Rudy has a couple of talented individuals on his team as well, including Tim Seal and Kristen Lopez. And I'd like to introduce Gilda, our district governor. She has a great message for us this morning.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you to the Public Image team, the Inclusive Leadership team, and the Mental Health Committee for putting on this program. Really, it's a pleasure to see all of you here on a Saturday morning. I hope you are getting a value from these monthly essentials. So you see a few things on the screen here. Those clubs that I visited, you have heard my spiel. I'm on visit number, I visited my club this week. I finished visit 38. So almost down to the finish line of visits. As you all know, it's not just the one visit. I'm coming back. I'll come back. Just invite me to a service project, to whatever you're doing, a fundraiser. But those of you who have heard my message, you have heard me talk about amplifying. We want to amplify you, your club, your members, your president, your catalyst, your new members. Here I heard we have a new member, Larry Weiss. Paul, when you joined, a couple of months ago, you have been religiously on every training that we have had. This is awesome. So Showing up for you, right, that's great. That's awesome. You get to learn what value we give at the district. But then there's the value that we can give you in our social media, right? So we've got a Facebook page, Instagram page, we have a YouTube channel, we have Ignite, we have so many different things that you're going to hear about today, and we want to amplify what your club is doing. So these are some examples of ways that we can highlight you, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. The picture that you see on the right, this is a real catalyst. That was at the Green Valley Club. I don't know if Green Valley is in the house today, but that's a real picture. You can see me with my sash if you've seen me at your club. These other two pictures, we want to highlight new members, and you're going to hear how we can partner with you. So send us those pictures. Let us amplify them. Let us recognize them. These two people are not in our club, so in our district, so they're not real pictures. This president, no, East LA. I don't think East LA is in the room. This is not a real president. But we these are ways that we can highlight you. So here's the message that I want to leave with you as we start this program here today. When people hear the word Rotary, what do they see? Do they see an organization of leaders changing lives, or a group of people meeting for lunch? These are questions that I want you to think about. Our public image shapes that answer. It's more than our logo or our website. It's the story people tell about us and the feeling they get when they meet a Rotarian. Public image and membership, they go hand in hand. So some of you might say, wait a minute, really? I want you to really think about that. And I hopefully by the end of this morning, you will figure that out. When people see Rotary as active, welcoming, authentic, they want to be a part of it. And when our members feel valued and included, they naturally share their Rotary story with pride, attracting others to join. But our image must also reflect who we truly are today. A Rotary that cares not only for our communities, but also for our members. That's where mental health comes in. You'll hear from Rudy in a moment how that plays into our public image and how we're going to grow our membership. We cannot pour from an empty cup. Supporting mental wellness within our clubs and communities shows that Rotary's compassion goes beyond service projects. It reaches the hearts of people. When we walk together in a mental health awareness event or create safe spaces for honest conversations, we show the world Rotary cares. And just as important is inclusivity, making sure everyone feels seen and valued. When people look at Rotary, they should see themselves reflected here in our leadership, our projects, and our friendships. An inclusive Rotary doesn't just open doors, it opens hearts. So how do we strengthen Rotary's image? By telling authentic stories, by showing kindness and integrity in everything we do, and by ensuring our image matches our values: service, fellowship, diversity, and compassion. When Rotary's public image shines with empathy and inclusion, membership will grow naturally. People don't just join Rotary for what we do, they join because of who we are. Together, let's continue to show the world that Rotary is more than a service organization. It's a place to serve, to belong, and to grow. You will hear from the PI team and the many ways we can amplify what you are doing in your cities and communities. We want to see what service projects you're doing. You've heard us talk about this. Come see what we do, and we want to get your community service projects. We want to see those action shots. We want to see how the impact that we're making in our communities. We do need your help. You'll hear how you can be part of this storytelling that will impact your club and all of our 55 clubs in our district. The one thing I'll end here as we go on to the next section. I know many of you have Facebook pages. Some of you, I have heard, have an Instagram, but you don't know how to get into the Instagram because it was created by somebody who's no longer in your club. So you're going to hear about that. I hope that we will inspire you to recreate or bring to life your Instagram page and to really update your content on your Facebook, Instagram. Some of you tweet. Some of you are in TikTok. Pasadena's big in TikTok. So whatever's your fancy, I encourage you to continue sharing those stories. And if you don't have a presence in some of those platforms, I hope by the end of today you'll be inspired to add that to your social media marketing. Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gilda. So Rotary is people of action. What is public image? So public image is the consequence of our marketing efforts. Public image is not something we do. It's something that comes after all of the things we do. So what is marketing? Well, it's branding and messaging. And if we break it down, branding is the promotion of the product or service by identifying it with a particular brand. Okay, great. But what is branding? What is messaging? The communication strategy a brand uses to convey its value, proposition, promise, and the differentiation to its target audience through its words, tone, and style. In this section, we'll talk about what branding and messaging are, why it matters, and the brand consistency. So brands we recognize. Some brands are recognized around the world just by their logos. When people see the logo, they instantly know what it means and what to expect from the product. Building that kind of visual recognition requires effort, including years of using a logo widely and consistently. Companies work at this because earning global recognition benefits their business. Rotary is no different because we want the public and other organizations to know who we are and what we stand for. We can deliver that message to the world if we are consistent with our brand and our logos. So why do we need branding? It exposes people to our core messages, our visual identity, our core values, and what to expect from Rotary. What is brand consistency? Rotary benefits from having a strong, recognizable brand. When people see our logos in print, online, or on social media, they should immediately recognize them as representing both Rotary and our values. You can strengthen Rotary not only in your community, but all over the world by using our logos correctly and consistently, which reinforces to the public who we are. We want people outside of Rotary to recognize our brand as representing a trusted organization and understand what our values are: fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. By taking these values and showing what we do in a positive way, we can reinforce our brand and our messages. Being consistent with our branding also means we represent ourselves professionally. It's important to understand that Rotary strategy underpins our messaging. We know our action plan should guide us when we think about writing an article, posting on social media, communicating about a project, or promoting an event. We can always be thinking about how a message or action will help us reach an objective or fulfill a priority. When we know what we want to achieve, then we can consider how to get a consistent message and look across all of our channels. Steps to being a brand champion. And I have to say thank you to Karen Lujan. She is our brand champion of the PI team. So how can you start? The beginning is understanding our brand and how we use different elements of our brand. You have a lot of resources available to help with this. First, take our logo representing Rotary course in the Learning Center. Next, make your logo using the template from the Brand Center. And we have a little treat for all of the clubs here. Gino will share a little bit more about that during his presentation. But you can easily make a club logo, though you might not need to. Then encourage your club officers and public image team to access all of your club materials, such as promotional items, banners, email headers, and more, and update them as necessary. And of course, we all represent Rotary brand. Remember, when we're out in our communities, we need to have the correct branding on our shirts, hats, and vests. We don't do what we do for the recognition, but we want people to understand who we are and what we do when they encounter our brand. So here is an example of club logos used in print materials. To help you understand Rotary's brand correctly, we can see the new branding with the wheel, the Rotary listed, and then the club name or the district or the zone. Now, of course, It's very important to make sure that we have clear spacing, and we can always partner with different lockups. Now, a consistent voice and visual identity are essential components of a strong brand. It is important to space the logo as well, not only around other logos, as well as with the club, district, or zone identifying text. Since this new branding has come out in the recent years, some clubs have opted to include their previous Rotary logo in a lockup, as shown on the right. Moving forward, the Rotary logo that should be printed and used in digital marketing is identified here. All other logos should be removed. If your club has printed materials with your old logo on them, we're not asking you to throw them out. But if any new materials are printed, please only use the new brand standard logo that you see here on the screen. Here's an example of some incorrect branding. And I know I come from a club that had a special logo. I know in Boulder City, there's only 2 clubs, and the other club has a very special logo that's near and dear to their heart. A key part of brand consistency is using the same correct logos across all promotional materials. In these examples, the images on the left use an outdated logo, and the logo on the right is the updated and correct use of the logo. Here are more ways to ensure brand consistency. Share your logo with your club members. Make sure your partners use it for events you host together. Review your website and social media accounts and update the branding wherever it's needed. It happens so quickly. I was looking at something as I was putting this presentation together, and I said, oh, that has an old logo on it. I can't give a public image presentation with an old logo. So it happens, and it takes constant effort. And we'll talk soon that public image is constant. Making sure your events and posters and advertising material have up-to-date logos and branding, and using those guidelines in the brand center to help build club collection of people in action images. So why consistency, why consistent messaging matters for Rotary? It builds trust and recognition. When every Rotary club around the world uses a consistent language, color, and visuals, the Rotary brand becomes stronger and more recognizable. The Rotary wheel isn't just a logo, it's a symbol of trust and action. When the community sees that wheel on a service project or donation drive, they associate it with integrity, credibility, and positive change. For example, a Rotary club in Boulder City and a club in Nairobi may have different projects, but both communicate that same trust and Rotary identity, people coming together to serve. Rotary's story is about service above self and human connection. Consistent messaging reminds members and communities that Rotary is more than meetings. It's a movement of people taking action to change lives. The content we share matters. If we're sharing images from our meetings, that's a great way to share what guests can encounter if they become a guest at a meeting, right? But does it represent the image of Rotary or our Rotary Club that we want to portray? Do we also share images of our service projects, of our own people in action? Those are the most impactful pieces of content, the ones that share our message consistently. So we talk about public image, but really, who should own public image for your club? Who is going to do the work behind it? This person would be documenting your service projects by taking photos and sharing them in social media and on DocDB. Who is organized and could make sure that your speakers, service projects, and fundraisers are now promoted on your website and social media? There's somebody out there. And as we said before, public image is constant. I say everyone is a marketer. When you put your socks on in the morning, you're choosing how you want to show up in the world that day. How are you showing up at the grocery store? Do you say hello and a nice friendly greeting to the grocery store clerk? At work, how would your coworkers describe you? In your family interactions, at Rotary meetings and events, and on social media. This is why your mental health goes into all of these interactions, and it's integral to how you show up authentically as your best self in the moment. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Rudy Hayek, and he is going to talk to us about mental health.
What a great transition. Let me share my screen.
I feel like this was a moment where we all go, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy.
Yes, that happens all the time. Yes. So, Amy, thank you for the transition from that last slide that you showed into this topic. This is part of a much longer presentation that I did at our Rotary Club in Glendora. And I have some specific things that Gilda has asked me to address within this talk. So I hope this will be informative and will also give you an idea of this mental health and wellness committee that our district has created. And I hope that everyone here will be participating in some way, either through being part of the committee or sending someone to us to be part of the committee, to be educators, to be advocates for mental health. So I'm going to take you through just a few background things and then some specific stuff about mental health within the club. If nothing else, I want you to take away from today, I want you to remember this, that everything in your life is about relationships and communication. And what that means is there's really nothing that you encounter in your life that are absent of these two components. Yes, and even a relationship with yourself. So when I see clients in my office, especially with couples, this is what they come with: relationship and communication issues. But there are so many layers underneath that cause relationship and communication to break down. But in terms of Rotary, both as members and also people who do things in the community and within our club, I want you to remember this, because what we do and how we talk to each other and how we produce projects and events have a lot to do, obviously, with how we with relationships and communication. So there are things in the last few years specifically that have gotten in the way, that have derailed relationships and communication. And the U.S. is not alone that have created these statistics. Let me minimize you guys so I can see my slides. Okay, so 13% of global population is experiencing a major mental health diagnosis at any one time. 75% of US adults are diagnosed with a major mental health issue by the age of 25. You can imagine that. 40% of US high school students report being depressed or suicidal. And suicide is the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 14. Just let that sink in. And these are statistics from about 3 years ago. So they have not gotten better. Some of them have gotten a little bit worse. And so what has happened in the last 5 years? So these are just a few highlights of what's happened in our world. I don't know if you all knew, but COVID actually took 3 million lives from us globally, and we're still suffering from the long-term effects of the lockdown. We've experienced not only globally and also in our country, but very locally, floods, fires, hurricanes and tornadoes back east. A lot of political and social unrest. I don't have to tell you guys about all of that. Multiple global conflicts and wars, various humanitarian crises that are often related to these conflicts and wars. Polarized politics, increased crime and violence, and rapid evolution of technology and AI. So back to that original comment I made about relationships and communication. These things have a major impact negatively on relationships and communication. And I'm sure a lot of you have felt this personally and within your families, maybe at work, and maybe in your Rotary clubs, how that has kind of translated into some conflict. So this is just a kind of a visual of what all that looks like in terms of mental illness. There's a lot of subcategories to mental illness and severe mental illness. Everything is on a gradient and a scale but we should all be paying attention. We should really now, this is time in our lives as Rotarians, to pay attention to what's going on in our clubs, what's going on with our fellow Rotarians, because there's a quote that I actually made up, and you guys can use it, which is being at our best will allow us to serve at our best. So being at our best will allow us to serve at our best. So we're not ignoring all the great things that we're doing out in the world, but we need to focus in on ourselves. And this is where the initiative that the past RI president came up with, which is he's asking Rotarians to look inward. And in 2022, the RI president, past president, Gordon McInally, wanted to address this. He had some personal issues in his own life that sort of brought things to light, and a big spotlight on the mental health is the vision that he came up with in terms of Rotary. And the three things that he wanted to focus on is breaking stigma, raising awareness, and increasing access. So let me get back to the relationship thing and how this relates to those three aspects. In Rotary, we have two types of customers. Most of you know that. We have the external customers that we serve very well, the service above self component of what we do as Rotarians. And I say this all the time to people I come across in my club, especially now with the focus on mental health, is service above self is great, but when the self is not optimally operating emotionally, physically, that's where the well-being comes in. We cannot be at our best, as I talked about a few minutes ago. So, the external customers will be served better when we are better. So the second, and I think for now, at least the next few years, we really need to focus on our internal customers, which is our own club members and Rotary families. Remember, each member, each one of us is connected to a web of amazing people in our lives. Some of us, hundreds of people in our lives, depending on how long we've been around. And why we're important is because we are the ones who go the extra mile to take care of we need to go the extra mile to take care of internal customers, because we are the ones who put in the time, energy, ideas, and our money. So if we can just switch our focus a little bit and really pay attention to what's going on in our clubs, I think we can really turn things around. And how this affects membership, two ways: retention and also recruitment. So if you're excited about being in your club, if you feel like you're connected, you have great relationships, you're being heard, your opinion matters, you're not being shamed if you have a difference of opinion with something, you're going to go out and tell people that Rotary is the place to be. So we've got to take care of our internal customers. So are you guys prepared to work on these? Ask these questions to yourself, maybe to others, maybe in your next board meeting. How are your club members doing? Are they attending meetings regularly, events regularly? What is their experience as a club member? I know that we've been talking about doing surveys a couple of times a year. I think it would be really good in your clubs to get a lot of this information. Are people finding value in their membership? And is being a Rotarian meeting their expectations? Sometimes people join because they have this vision of what's going to happen, and then we forget about them, or we don't assign committees for them. We sort of just, don't pay that much attention, as we should, to new members, and they go off into hiding. So are they meeting their expectations from the beginning? And what about you? How are you doing as a Rotarian? The thing to remember is each Rotary Club has its own personality, just like in families. When I work with families, I don't just deal with the individuals that are sitting in front of me, but I look at the entire picture as a system. And each Rotary Club is actually operating as a system, made up of different opinions, ideologies, values, generational and phase of life differences, really big. Gilda knows about this. She's a phase of life person. Life experiences, talents, interests, financial, and social economic status. We have to be very, very mindful. There are some club members that could start off being in a good financial situation, but something happened within a couple of years that that has them slide down the economic status, and they may be too embarrassed to talk about the fact that they can't maybe afford their dues. So we have to start paying attention to these things. That your club is your family, and start paying attention to all the little signals that you might hear that are not being communicated because of the stigma. We should strive to learn more about one another, respect and be curious about our differences, and be self-aware with how we communicate and what we communicate. This is super, super important. I know there's been a recent conflict in our district recently with someone who posted something that was offensive. Somebody resigned because of it, then they resigned. I don't know the actual specifics about what happened, but Gilda wanted me to address this. And what I shared with her is that one of the reasons these things happen is people have lost their ability to be self-aware, which is important to be able to self-regulate. So what I mean by self-awareness is you ask the question, like, is this a good thing for me to post? Is this a good thing for me to bring up at a meeting? How will this affect everything that's going on in here? Am I going to be contributing, or am I going to be creating turmoil? So the self-awareness piece is super important. And in terms of the health of your club, I encourage you yourself, but also maybe, and I could talk about this another time, but there are really cool exercises and activities that we can do in our clubs to be able to kind of foster that kind of self-awareness. And the self-regulation means take a breath, calm yourself, think about what you're going to do. Ask someone, hey, what do you think about this? Should I post it or not? So again, we could spend hours on this, but really, really important as a takeaway message for you and maybe to take into your clubs. Remember, membership is about relationships. It's not just about numbers. And we have to be super, super aware, love it or hate it. Part of the self-awareness must include being responsible for how we come across in social media. What we post, what we share are very public and out there pretty much forever, and can speak volumes about how you're portrayed, whether you're intended to or not. So I want you to really kind of integrate these points. Think about how this applies to you. This could apply to your membership. So bottom line is, a lot of you maybe are already doing a lot of these cool things and feel very connected to your clubs and all that. I challenge you that there is more: connection, communication, cohesiveness. These three things, the 3 C's. Take that back into your club. See what you can do to enhance each one of these as a collective, but also specifically. You may be really good at cohesiveness. You guys do a lot of stuff together, but other things maybe that are being missed. And I want to challenge you to kind of look at that. So finally, this is the Mental Health and Wellness Committee. And this is my version of an integrated model. If you pay attention to the 4 outside squares, you will have a very balanced mental health and wellness component, not only to your life, but to your club. One last thing, we're going to have our first conversation to the district. It's open to everybody in the district. We're going to be sending this out 6:30 to 7:30 on October 28th to really get into this. I'm really looking for expanding the committee, inviting any Rotarian that wants to be involved with our ideas. Maybe they're doing things in their club that pertain to what we've been talking about today. So that's it. I want to leave you with this quote: start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. It's just from Arthur Ashe.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your attention.
Yes, being in tune with ourselves is never a bad thing. Well, we're going to continue the conversation on public image, and it's constant. We're right back there. We jumped ahead a bit. Please excuse me. Okay, so moving forward, we are going to get into the practical ways to increase your public image, including digital engagement and leveraging AI for efficiency, physical outreach, club visibility tools, recommended tools and platforms, and then so that you have resources, district and zone support. So for digital engagement, I'd like to introduce Gino Reyes. He is going to review this topic. Gino,
I'm on
you
mute.
are.
I just unmuted myself. Thank you. Sorry. For all of you that know me, I am an introvert. Most people don't believe that, but I am. So what I want to lead off with is almost 4 weeks ago, I officially kind of was granted the reins to our Instagram page. In those 4 weeks, we have gone from 192 followers to 718. Gilda's goal was 15%, basically in everything we do, increase. Now, that does sound like a lot. This all sounds like a lot. But what I'm here to do is to really kind of walk you through my process and on how I do things, because I'm really about working smarter, not harder. And although all of this public image, whether it's social media, could be very overwhelming, there are tools that can make it very easy. So the first tool we're going to talk about here is ChatGPT. So if you know ChatGPT, I myself am not a tech person. I always say, we need to teach the dumbest person in the room. I'm the dumbest person in the room, but I have taught myself these things. And so what I want to do is also help people who are not interested in this or fear that this might be too much. So oftentimes, every month there is a theme for the month. There's an idea, there's something that happens. And so I take that inspiration, that idea, knowing ahead of time that it's coming. I take that and I kind of put it in ChatGPT and I start talking about it. For instance, this month is community and economic development month. And so I take that idea and I put it in ChatGPT. And ChatGPT truly, at the base of it, is all about having a conversation. It's all about prompting, which is super, super important. And so imagine I have this conversation, which I love to talk to myself, so it's kind of fun. I have this conversation talking to myself about, how is community development, how does that align with Rotary, what are Rotary's efforts, blah, 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 blah. And it pops up something, and it pops up this idea. And then I talk to it again, and I just say, okay, now, can we take this idea and can we turn that into an article? Many of you may know, may not know. Hopefully you read the highlighter. I like to produce a lot of articles because we have a lot of information to share. So as I'm having this conversation, one of the things that I do is specifically tell the ChatGPT to create a 250-word article that I will submit to the highlighter. But in the prompting, I say things like, maybe be invigorating. I always, in everything you do in language, the most important thing for me is to always be inclusive. So when I do that, it's able to pop something out for me. And then I kind of read through that. And if it's not exactly what I want, I can have more conversation with it, right? And so the idea of creating this story is basically that I could take a story, an idea, and deliver basically 5 different ways. So I take that, I turn that into an article for the highlighter. As I'm reading that, I prompt it differently with different keywords to say, hey, let's do an Instagram post. And then boom, it literally will do an Instagram post with hashtags. And then I say, can we be more mindful, thoughtful, and do something for a Facebook post? Then we get a Facebook post. And so the idea here is, as I look around and I visited clubs, I know a lot of people, and I see all the hard work that you guys put into your newsletters. In my mind, I think that looks like a lot of work. Meanwhile, people think I do a lot of work, and I'm like, no, I just work smarter. So it seems like I do a lot, but I'm using these tools that we have to really deliver messages in multiple ways on multiple platforms. So can we keep going? So when we look at this right here, these are just ideas for you to really kind of take into consideration as you're working with Chat GPT. For me, if you know me, I have to put tone at the top because I could be a little excited, a little, people can take messages a certain way. But at the end of the day, we can create that. We can write something with gratitude. We can write something from an inclusive perspective. We can show excitement. We can do all these things. So this is, to me, the most important thing that you could learn with a Chat GPT to get out of it, the most that you could potentially get out of it. And, like I said, the ability to turn something into multiple deliveries. And we're talking about, I do this, I could probably do this in 15 minutes. I can go from beginning to end with 5 deliveries in 15 minutes. Next slide, please. So here's an example of when I was thinking about this month's topic, and I kind of, you go and you basically Google. First, I Google economic and community development, and then I get some. I'm a visual learner and a visual person, so then I start looking at the pictures, and I'm like, okay, I like this. I like the green. I like the growth. I like the plant. And then as I'm doing it, I'm looking at it to see potentially if I can write on it, if I can, how I can use any one of these images, to benefit me in what I'm going to do. Next post. So if we look at this, I basically I took an image and I overlaid this, right? And so as we talked about earlier, so I did something, over the last couple of years, we have been trying to get everybody to be compliant. And I understand I have my own logo. I understand any club who loves their logos, who have their own logos. But at the end of the day, as future forward as I am, I definitely respect the tradition and where we need to be. And so when what I did for every club that you guys will get first is I created a packet that I'm going to deliver, that we are going to deliver to you guys, and it will have your club logos. It will have the Unite for Good in 9 ways. It will have Gilda's logo, and it will have your club logo in, I believe, 3 colors 3 ways, and 2 other colors 2 ways. And we're going to be sending that to the presidents, for the presidents to give to their public image person or whoever. But once you have that, it is so easy then to just pull from it and boom. So the idea is we want it, but now we're giving this to you. And so there's really no need, there's not going to be any need for you to go to the branding center if you're not familiar with the branding center. We're cutting that out and we're gifting this to you to help you in our efforts to be in alignment, to be consistent, and all that. So when I'm looking at this in my mind, I created this all in Instagram. And so, which is very interesting because anyone who knows me enough knows that I don't do computers at all. So I do everything on my phone. And so one of my goals for us is that I want to help every club have an Instagram, or how to take their Instagram to the next level. If you know Instagram, you know your Instagram can feed your Facebook. But if you know Facebook, Facebook is a different audience than Instagram. Now, one of the most important things for an image like this, especially it being a monthly type of deal, is when you go on Instagram, the idea is you also have to like and engage in other people's stuff. So if you're engaged with other Rotary clubs all around the world, you'll notice on the same day, everybody starts popping up with these types of messages. When yesterday was World Mental Health Day. So you start seeing the consistency all over the world. So while we're telling you this isn't just us. And this is how we collectively really work together all across the world, and how something like Instagram can bring you into other clubs, can, other people will share stuff. We had a call last week that I believe through Facebook, someone from another district joined our inclusive leadership call. So the idea is that we're beyond our club and we're beyond our district. We're a global organization. This is Rotary International, not Rotary America, and not Vegas Verde Rotary Club of North Las Vegas. We want to have this impact to keep going as far as we can, because whether or not we're helping people in our own area, we might give inspiration to people somewhere else, and someone else might get inspiration from them. So when we think about these types of pictures, for me looking at this is a very dynamic picture. It's very bright. It's very colorful. This is Instagram. Now, if I did something like this for Facebook, I might take the toned down one, because as we know, Instagram is, you're scrolling through it and you're looking for pretty things that draw your attention. Facebook is going to be more about connecting with friends and family. Instagram is everywhere, all over the world. We also have stories in Instagram, which could be, we could also put this in a story. We could put this in a story. We can put links in stories when you have events. It's really hard to put links to places in your Facebook unless you have, or in your Instagram, unless you have a link tree. So you can put live links in your stories. Every time you go in there, your story only appears for 24 hours. So you can keep putting it up there, putting it up there, putting it up there, and giving people opportunities who didn't see it to do it. Do I have another slide or no? No. Okay. Okay, so the idea really here is for one of the other things that we talked about is, we always want. We're here as this committee to give. One of the things that I said just before is my goal, Gilda's goal, our goal is to get every club to have an Instagram. So I want to put it out there. We're going to put it out there. I'm offering myself to do a tech hour once a week, 30-minute sessions for any clubs who want to learn a little bit, some tricks, some hacks about their Instagram, how to improve it, how to be better. Maybe you want to start one. Maybe you have to get rid of one and reinvent yourself because you don't have access to your others. We are going to work on doing something like that and making ourselves, myself, I'm not nobody else. I just want to make myself available because I think it would be incredible if by the end of the year we had 54 Instagram accounts. Because if you think about membership is a heart. If you think about our district Instagram, our district Instagram is a heart that feeds out, that feeds in. So we need all the outer clubs in the district to feed in as we feed out. I am creating material that you can share. If you want material, DM me, direct message, and I will send you that so you can post that. But most likely you can share everything we're doing in your story. Some clubs are already on that and doing that. But I'm creating this info for us to be exponential. So it goes to you and it goes out. Your base might be different than our base. That's different than my base. Because as we know, we're Southern California, high desert, and Southern Nevada. So I want to thank you guys. I hope this helped a little bit. And I hope to see some of you and that you will be interested in helping us get to 54 Instagrams by the end of the year. Thank you.
Woohoo! What great goals, Gino. Thank you so much for sharing. And Gino has just been integral to our social and digital presence. If you have interacted with us on social media, you are interacting with Gino. So way to go, Gino. Thank you again. It was great to move to this slide, and we're going to stay here for a second. Now, these are QR codes. Anyone unfamiliar with QR codes, you can take out your phone and open your camera, and it will scan the little QR code and take you to that page. So here you have all of our resources. You have the District 5300 website. Come see what we do. So this is a website. You've heard Gilda mention it. We've been promoting it. It is where all of our service projects that we enter into DACDB, they go straight to come see what we do. .org. And it's a fantastic resource that we can share with the external customers, as Rudy mentioned earlier. We can share with our communities on come see what we do. We've got amazing service projects that we're doing out in the community, and we would love for you to join us. Our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, and our LinkedIn. So after today's webinar, our Zoom meeting, you will be able to find this on YouTube in the coming days. So if any we will have the recording available, and if anybody would like to, you can subscribe to the District 5300. We hope you'll all want to, YouTube, and you'll be able to see it there. I'll leave this up for just another second. And while we do that, Tom Novotny is going to populate a survey on your screen. We're going to take a quick poll, and it's just 3 short questions. 2 are multiple choice, and 1 is fill in the blank. Now I'm sharing, so I don't think I can see the poll. Can everyone else see the poll?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. We'll give Mr. Tom just a moment.
Tom, we only see that Zoom screen. So whatever you did this morning, you just need to go to that next one. There we go.
It's showing the cat that we've done this morning, so don't let that discourage you.
I think we had 1 response this morning when we tested it.
Oh, so do we have to go back? No.
Yeah, I submitted mine. I submitted it again.
Oh,
Closing this window, this dialog box there with the polls.
What now?
We're seeing results, not the questionnaire.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the questionnaire.
Right.
That's because somebody filled it out this morning.
we were testing it this
I
morning.
told you I don't know how to use computers.
Well, I'm not much better.
You're all doing great.
Get this back. Come on.
Should we close the page, Amy?
Stop sharing. Hold on.
So the results.
I know.
Still is. Yeah. You know what? If you don't want to, it's okay.
I messed it up.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it
There
is.
it is. Okay, cool.
So everyone should see a poll. If you'll just take a moment and answer those yes and no questions, and then please feel free to provide an answer in question number 3. All right, I think everyone has had a moment. We had our 60-second timer. I think everyone has had a moment to fill that out. And Gilda, did you want to share those results now or save them for the end?
You want to share them? Go ahead and share them. I don't see the results. I don't know if you can. I don't
Nope.
know. I just see the numbers on the 68%, 23 out of 23.
Good go.
Yeah.
No worries at all. Well, we'll move forward and we'll see if Tom can. Oh, there they
There.
are. Okay. So, are you afraid, overwhelmed with social media? 28% of us, yes. I said yes, I am overwhelmed. I might not be afraid, but I am overwhelmed. And 72% said no. How fantastic is that? Gino, 72% of the people on the call are like, social media, I got it.
Four-way test. Is it the truth?
And number two, would you like to boost your public image within your community and globally? And 100% yes. I think we are all in alignment there. So thank you so much for taking the time to take that poll with us. As we move on to other ways to increase your public image, physical outreach. So on the left, you'll see a flyer that the Rotary Club of Boulder City made for a social that we host each fall during membership month. We had a social at Boulder Bowl. We invited the community. We had fun. We were bowling. We were talking about Rotary. It's very bright. It's vibrant. It was a flyer. We printed it out. We handed it out at open house at the elementary school that we partner with each fall, which we got a member from last year. So fantastic outreach there. And then on the right, you'll see we partnered with Emergency Aid here in Boulder City, which is an organization that was taking in donations. So for Mother's Day, they had those on hand. And these are just flyers that we made up in Canva, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and printed them out. You could make something in Word and print it out, any kind of flyer that's going to have the information. Club visibility tools. So as we mentioned before with comeseewhatwedo.org, when you add your service projects to DACDB, it immediately goes to comeseewhatwedo.org. And then you can also, so on the right, you'll see I've made up a press release, reaching out to local media or for TV, print, radio about upcoming opportunities. If you need this format, I'd be happy to send it over. It's just a Word doc. I put in our logo. This is where I saw that our logo needed a little tune-up when I was putting this presentation together, because this is from 2024. And it's just the details about your event. When is it happening? What can somebody expect? What are the talking points? What is going to get a TV reporter, a radio DJ? What's going to get somebody to want to follow up and share this with the community? And each of you have great projects that you are working on and great fundraisers to share. So here we see comeseewhatwedo.org. So when you put, so I've only taken a screenshot of Southern Nevada. So this calendar here you see is all of the events for October, all the service projects that were entered into DACDB, and it immediately goes into this calendar. Now, if you click on Southern Nevada, Southern California, you're going to see different events. So you can see by your region what's happening around you, how you can join. And this is a great opportunity and resource to share with community. And so they know what's going on, and it aggregates it all. So there's less work on your part. You don't have to type something up or communicate every time, send flyers every single time something's going on. You say, go over to comeseewhatwedo.org, and all of the information is there. Our website. So Rotary International has a website. Our zones have a website. And of course, the district has a website. This is a fantastic resource of leadership, of training materials. Everything links back to RI, Rotary International. So please use it. Please look around. There's fun things on there. We share things that are happening, recent activities. All of our webinars, the Rotary Essentials, are on there. So we put a lot of time into it for you so that you can easily share these things with your club. This is a fantastic tool for public image chairs in the clubs so that they can see the district resources right there, easy to share. So we were talking about recommended tools and platforms, and I mentioned Canva. So Canva is software. You can use it online. So you can just go to canva.com, or you can download the application onto your computer. It's also on a mobile device, so very user-friendly. Even Gino has been learning it, Mr. Not Computer Friendly. And so what you can do in there is you can make flyers, you can make graphics for Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, you can make videos. I would recommend, if you are going to get into the video making, I would use CapCut. Now, this is a little bit more of an advanced software, but once you get it down, it is very user-friendly. I have used some video editing software on desktop computers that the big Hollywood brands use, and CapCut has a lot of those features. If you want to create videos, Instagram also has a lot of features within it. So play around, have fun. As Gino mentioned, you can make stories. And I think one of the most fun things is just to experiment. You know, the stories that Gino was mentioning, those are your behind the scenes look at your service projects. They're not your polished photos. They're not, where everyone is posing together. Those are for the posts. The stories are that, hey, we're just arriving and we're getting set up, and it's a quick, hey, everybody's waving at the camera kind of thing. Or, hey, you take your phone and you quick scan all of the donation items that you've brought. It's supposed to be quick. It goes away in 24 hours, and it's supposed to be raw. You're not supposed to, feel like somebody put a whole lot of energy into it. And then, of course, Meta Business Suite. So as Gino was mentioning, with Facebook and Instagram, those are both owned by Meta, which means when you post from one, you have the option of posting to the other as long as you have connected those accounts. And it's seamless. It's less work on your end. As Gino said, work smarter, not harder. And one really neat feature of the Meta Business Suite is that you can say, I want to make a post. You enter the photograph, the graphic, whatever it is, the video that you want to share, and then you can post to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. You can schedule them at different times, and you can change the copy. So as Gino was mentioning, your Instagram audience is going to respond to different prompts, different texts, different hooks than your Facebook audience is. And just drop that information into ChatGPT, let ChatGPT show you the way, and change up those words a little bit. Of course, treat ChatGPT as an assistant. You would not turn in your research report put together by your assistant, right? You would look at it, you would review it and see, do I like the way that those words flow? Does that sound like me? Do I use that word? And change some things out. Make it your voice. So, Meta Business Suite, super user-friendly, super easy, and you can schedule posts up to 30 days out. So that's another thing that comes with public image, right? Is that it's constant. We have so much information to share, but you can't, I can't. I don't want to speak for all of you. I cannot get on social media every single day and come up with a great post and have the graphic ready. That's just a lot to ask out of myself. So, but what I can do is I can block 4 hours out of the month where I sit down, I gather all of those graphics that I've made, I create the copy, ChatGPT helps me a bit, and then I schedule them. And then you're set for the month. And then you just get to, see your information come out on social media on the days that you've scheduled it, and you get to see your interaction with the community. There is district and zone support for you. So as we discussed, Gino, fantastic with Instagram, Karen also with socials, and of course you can find their information on DACDB. If you need your website, if you need help on your website, Zeb does this. That's what he does for a business. So you can reach out to him. Collaboration. So something that we haven't talked about yet is the amazing benefit of collaborating on digital posts. So what does that mean? When you post from your Instagram page or your Facebook page, you can invite District 5300 to collaborate on it. It's very similar to a tag, but it is different. And what that means is if we collaborate on a post, when you see that post, it'll show up in your newsfeed, and right above, it'll say your name or your club name or whatever account was posting it and District 5300. So it looks like we both posted it. And it's going to go to both of our audiences. We're going to expand our reach, and which will increase our engagement. So fantastic tool. Gino has been doing that fantastic with his Vegas Verde account. As he just said, he just got access to our actual Instagram. So he was collaborating on most of the posts from the Vegas Verde account, which, I mean, Vegas Verde looks like they're doing so many great things for the district, and they are, because they are volunteering Gino. Mental health. If you would like to have Rudy speak to your club, share materials, if you need more resources, he has that event coming up on the 28th, which we'll learn more about, but he is there for you guys. All right. So I always say public image, it takes a village. We need to encourage our membership to share, like, and comment on our club content. So when something comes out, if they like it, they need to like it. They need to hit that little heart or, hit the like button and say, great job, so and so at such and such service project. That was awesome. And I really enjoy seeing Gino's work on our district graphics. And I message him or I comment on the photo. I'm like, this is great. This is fantastic. And I know Gilda is on there too. We've got some fantastic cheerleaders in our group. So we are going to take some time and we are going to head into breakout sessions. So we are going to assign you a question.
Sorry to interrupt. It is 10:15. We have 15 minutes left. So Karen and I were just concerned we're not going to have enough time. I wonder if we can do the questions together as a group. What do you think? We're not going to have time to go in and come back out. And I believe there was questions.
Yeah, I am open to your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, there are a few questions on here too.
Yeah. Take it away.
Great. Maybe we should jump into Q&A. What I'm going to do is you've got the questions up on the screen, correct? You can still see them?
Yes.
Great. So we have some questions that Karen has said have come through. I would like everyone to take a moment and review those questions. And if you have done something in your club and you would like to share it, please enter it into the chat and we will call on you to share. Karen, do you want to go through the questions that are already in the chat? And if we haven't addressed them, bring them up and we can address them.
Yeah. We only have one question from Suzanne regarding the lockup logo. So Suzanne, you can bring that up if you'd like.
Thank you, Karen. Amy, on your page where you had your bowling flyer, the one next to it had a lockup. And I've been trying to figure out how to do that for my club. We have a particular, yes, okay, on the right side of my screen, you have Rotary Club of Boulder City, and then on the lockup side, you have a custom logo for your project.
Yes.
The RAM, it looks like, and something else. So we have a new project for our club that someone made a logo for, and I'd like to know how, first of all, I'd like to know if that's legal, and I'd like to know how to do it if it is.
The RAM is not legal. I'll tell you. So the RAM should not be there.
Okay.
The EABC across the state of Nevada, that is Emergency Aids logo. So that's perfect. That logo should be a little bit closer to the black line where the RAM is to allow for perfect spacing. And that is exactly what you should be doing for projects. And that is
How
legal.
do you upload your own, and why isn't the RAM legal? We have a new project called Come See What We Do. I mean, we see you,
You
very
do.
similar. We see you. It's a eyeglasses project for kids and we have a logo for it. And I would like to create a lockup like that, but with our cute little We See You logo next to it. But I don't know how to upload that to the Rotary International website.
Brand, if you go to the brand center and you go to templates and you go
Yeah.
to lockup and and if you go into it, after you put in your club information, there'll be a button for you to actually press to upload an image.
Okay. I didn't see that, but thank you. I'll look for that.
And I
That's
didn't give
all.
it
That's
a
what I wanted to know.
perfect, Suzanne. The reason the RAM is not legal is because that was part of our original logo. That was the logo we didn't want to let go. And the person that made our new Rotary Club of Boulder City logo did not know that the RAM should not be in the lockup. So
I wasn't trying to
working
out
with-
you. I just wanted to know if I could do the same thing.
No, perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. We're all a work in progress.
That's for sure.
Do we have any other questions? Should we jump into the answers?
I didn't see any of the questions, Karen. I think the only comment was somebody asked for the press release information, so we can send that out. It is I don't know if it's on the website. I didn't look while we were on, but they asked about the press release.
Template.
Yeah, I'd be happy to send that out. All right, so let's see here. Question 1, what communication or public image efforts is your club already doing? And where do you need support? So what could the district be doing to better support the clubs?
Anybody?
Well, I have a question about Come See What We Do, actually. Our club secretary entered all of our events.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe the current situation is that we have to send pictures to PDG Soden, right? To have them added.
So
Is that the case still?
actually, there was an email that was sent last night to the area governors. So one of our AGs, John Fasana, who's not here on the call today from Duarte, he came up with, I think it's like 8 or 10 slides, and it's a how-to. So you, Suzanne, or whoever's doing your DAC-DB in Glendora, there's instructions on how you can put up the photo right there on DAC-DB.
That's what I'd like to do.
Yes, so we'll get that to you. We are not done with the AGs know this. We looked at the project. So we've gotten the projects that you guys have submitted through DAC-DB. We pulled a report. We looked at all of them. Some are youth events and they're not actually open to the public. So we're making calls to find out, are you sure you want this open to the public? So
Right.
that's the piece that if you guys that are on here, if you can go back to your DAC-DB and look at your events, your service project events, and if they are not open, please take them off. Because if they're not open, then we don't want them on Come See What We Do, right? And then there's instructions that we're going to send you on how to upload a picture, an action shot, right? We want action shots. And if you have an action shot from last year, same project, great, right? Put that in there. The more diversity that we have in those pictures, the better. Because if you guys go to Come See What We Do, you're going to see a lot of events use the same picture because we didn't have pictures from anybody, right?
Right.
So if you can help us there, that would be fantastic. Right now, we have about 75 projects that are on there. My goal for myself was to reach 100. I'm willing to bring the goal down to 80. If we get 80 projects, then we can roll with Come See What We Do. So thank you for asking that question because we were going to send it out. I've sent it to the AGs and they're going to reach out to you guys. So
Thank you.
yeah. There's something else in chat, I think.
And my 2 cents here is, the clubs to give them exactly what you guys are doing. What Gino just did with the logo is perfect. here, this is how we can help you, and hand them the tool so they don't have to figure it out on themselves. That's excellent. And just like what you said, as far as posting on come see what we do, Gilda, I think that's great.
I also think in addition to giving clubs the logos, and I had talked with Gino about this, and Gino, you may have already done this, so forgive me. But Rotary wants the right colors too. So like in Canva, I always put in hex codes for the Rotary colors. So it might be useful to give them a list of maybe not all the Rotary colors, but some hex codes for the basic Rotary colors.
And fonts, right? Fonts too.
Fonts too, like some of the basic fonts. Canva doesn't have all the Rotary fonts, but they have similar. And the other thing is in public image for if someone's using DACDB for their newsletter, the putting in collages is a lot easier to make a collage in Canva, save it as one JPEG, and then upload it into DACDB into the easy newsletter.
So I have a question about public image. Who likes Girl Scout cookies? Raise your hand if you like Girl Scout cookies. Well, how do you know about Girl Scout cookies? Well, they're outside the supermarket. They're in the community. They don't post it online. They're out there with a table and they're selling cookies. And who doesn't like all their Thin Mints and all those other purple box cookies? And I think Rotary needs to literally, I mean, as well as online, but you need to be out visible in the community.
Absolutely.
Whenever there's an event, a public event, get a table, wear a Rotary shirt, talk to your newspapers, get a newspaper article in the newspaper every month, what's going on with Rotary, and really more from what service project have you done? Nobody really cares about what's going on in the meeting. You want to know what's going on in the community. One of the things, I'm originally from District 5030, which is up in the Seattle area. And we did a bus wrap. We wrapped the city buses, not all of them, but you would drive down the big streets in Seattle, or you drive down the interstate, and there'd be a big bus riding by with a rap about Rotary and what Rotary did, and contact rotary.org or contact the local Rotary Club and really physically get into the community. And I think I think that is a great way to push Rotary into the community.
100%. You guys have to find events that are happening, and yeah, absolutely.
But don't just do Rotary events. Go to other events. Break down the silos. You know, everybody has Rotary. When I was a district governor, and we had Rotary, and there was Lions, and there was Kiwanis, and we're all trying to get ourselves out there in the service, and we try to break down the barriers and do joint events for the purpose of selling service, not just join my club.
Right,
go out in the community and do service. However you can do it, go out and do it.
So
really physically get out in the community.
The come see what we do is exactly that. It's come see what we do. By the way,
but it's online. It's online. You have to be on the street.
Well, no, what I'm saying is when we put the come see what we do in our DACDB calendar and it shows up on come see what we do, then people can see it and then come to the event, and then post event, there's like, right? So there's an event they're coming to. It's a service project, right? So, and I just want to share this because I was looking at the everybody's service projects. We are 55 clubs in our district. 25 clubs have not put in their service projects. I'll let that sink in.
So just one more point to that, Gilda, is it's great to have the information in the come see what we do, but that's only if you're in Rotary and if you go on that site.
No. Come see what we do is not for Rotarians. Come see what we do gets publicized to none. It's in your region, California West, High Desert, Nevada. It goes to people that are looking for volunteering efforts. It's not promoting to us, it's promoting to the outside. If that message has not been given, I apologize. I'll take full blame for that. No, it is for the outside, for the non-Rotarian. That's why we're pushing this. And we've talked about this over the last month and a half. So we're pushing to get everybody to have. If we know that you guys do projects, there's a reason you're not going into DAC-DB to put it in there. And this is the outreach that you're going to get from the governor line and the AGs to reach out to you to find out what are your projects. I'll tell you, I texted the 25 clubs last night. I got 5 who said, yeah, we have like 5 projects. Why isn't it on DAC-DB? Let's work on get it on DAC-DB. So
Excellent, excellent. And yes, Howard, I feel so spoiled in Boulder City because we have like 6 major events per year where we are able to communicate to the coordinator, get a table set up. So what Howard is talking about is, when is your state fair? When is your community having some kind of volunteer fair or community event where they're inviting the public out? It has nothing to do with Rotary. It has nothing to do with you per se, but it's something that you can tag along to. So find out who's coordinating that event, see how much a table is. A lot of times for nonprofits, they do them either for a donation or free. They'll just invite you to come out and set up and have your flyers. That's kind of what I was describing with the open house at the elementary school. We go to, you know, the educators, the administration of the schools in your local area and say, hey, when are you having your open house? Rotary would like to come and just set up a table, and we don't need any spotlight. We'll just talk to parents as they walk by, and students. And like I said, that's how we got a member last year. So it can be very effective. Just get creative and, you know, take the hard work out of it for yourself and say, how can I tag along on somebody else's event?
Add a therapist comment for Howard's sake, so he feels included, that this is an and, not an or. So everything that Howard said, I think should absolutely be done. And the come see what we do stuff and the technology and what we're trying to do to publicize events is what we should do as well. It's an and, not an or.
Thank you, Rudy.
Sure, my pleasure. No charge.
I see it is 10:28. So I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I also want you to be reflective right now. So as Gilda said, over half of our clubs have not contributed to the DAC-DB service projects. So what project or fundraiser is coming up in your year that you could be talking about? And then who would be the best person in your club to help make sure that we're getting that message out? Who would be the best person in your club to reach out to the local schools and see when, you know, when they're doing their open house for next year? I wouldn't reach out right now. They just got into school. They're overwhelmed. But, you know, around like June next year, July, reach out to that school and see what their schedule is. Who would be that best person? So as we come to a close, Gilda, Tom, does anyone have anything else they'd like to add?
I just want to add, it's not the fundraiser for come see what we do. It's purely service projects. Service projects that you want to open to the outside. So if there's youth projects that you don't, you can list them, but make sure, like let us know this is not open. It's somewhere in the description. So we won't list those on come see what we do, but not a fundraiser. It's focused on what we do so that people can come, volunteer, see who we are, get a sense of the organization, and eventually join because they see that.
You
Thank
don't
you.
All right, I have one final, oh. Am I still muted? I have one thing to say. When we think about this come see what we do.org, it's not really about you or your club. It's about the entire district and the impact that we can have in our big area. So by not even me, who doesn't play on all teams, Gilda made me do something and I did it. this is beneficial to all, maybe some more than others. But at the end of the day, we have to do that for each other. The idea, one of the things is we talk about this heart of membership and how it feeds out and it feeds in with everything, is that we don't even know everything that's going on in our own clubs. And this type of thing, with knowing what clubs are doing projects and sharing projects, that might be something that keeps somebody in Rotary. We don't expect every club to have every project for every person, but it would be nice for everybody to know what's going on in their area, not just within their club, because some people have passions that go outside of their club that another club might be doing. That person might have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. This is a way that we not only share with each other and that we can amplify our impact, but we might save people who might have 1 foot out the door. That's all.
Thank you, Gino. So in closing, public image is not what we do, it's the consequences of our marketing efforts. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for your hour and a half on your Saturday morning. I hope you have a great Service Above Self week, and we'll see you at the next Rotary Essentials.
Thank you, everybody. The public image team, if you guys want to stay on, I asked Tom to let us stay for a few minutes so we can kind of do